So, what do I mean when I say telling yourself it's just OCD doesn't work? And why do I say that? Now, ultimately, our goal is for you to get to a point where these things can occur and you don't give them any credit and don't pay attention to them. But the thing about saying to yourself, it's just my OCD, actually is problematic because it gets in the way of that process happening. So, the reason for this is number one, if you have a thought or an image or a feeling and you say to yourself, no, don't worry, it's just my OCD, the first thing you're doing is you are interacting with it, which is something that we actually want to get you to stop doing. The second thing is your brain hears it as a reassurance, as like, don't worry, you don't have to listen to this thing, it's not true, it's just your OCD. And what we know about reassurance is the more you reassure yourself, the more reassurance you need, and the less confident you are in your own judgment. So those are the two major reasons why saying to yourself, it's just OCD, doesn't work. So what are you going to do instead? Instead, we want you to have an attitude that is, I'm going to treat this as if I believe it's OCD and choose to do alternative things like let it go and re-engage our attention elsewhere. Okay, so it's only a small shift. We're just getting rid of that idea of saying to ourselves, it's just my OCD, whenever we have some kind of intrusive thought or feeling or urge or sensation, okay? And instead, we have a general attitude that whenever this stuff crops up, we are going to treat it as if we believe that it's OCD, okay? So the difference is when you say, I'm going to treat it as if, you're not in that moment responding to it in a certain like by saying this is just my OCD. Instead, you're putting into practice helpful alternative behaviors like redirecting your attention or doing something that's anti-OCD, and you are allowing yourself to practice taking the risk of treating it as if it's OCD, and you are allowing yourself to practice dealing with the uncertainty and the discomfort rather than reassuring yourself and saying, it's okay, it's just my OCD. Because the bottom line is, if that worked, the problem wouldn't still exist.